Hello everyone, this is Newspring, a chat on life and leadership lessons from my several decades in the military. Welcome to everyone from Nigeria, Africa, and all around the world. This is Kelechi Okanwa, and I'm coming to you live from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. So today, I'll be discussing a simple technique that skilled military instructors use to transform or produce outstanding leaders in the military, to produce outstanding results among their students. It is something that you probably already know, but I doubt you really understand the power of this technique to use it frequently. You see, I'm going to take you back to my days as a cadet, young cadet in Nigerian Defense Academy, and I'm going to introduce you to some of our military instructors, particularly the drill instructors, and I regard them as the best instructors that you will find in any part of the world today. And drill, when I talk about drill, I'm referring to what you see soldiers do when they are on a parade ground, marching in unison, their hands swinging, their legs moving at the same rhythm, with a music playing at the background, a band playing at the background. The people who produce these outstanding results are a bunch of middle-aged, fierce-looking, no-nonsense guys who probably didn't go to much of schooling, but they have learned over time the techniques of producing or turning young boys into outstanding military leaders. Now, the proof that they were successful is that today, when you wake me up to do any of the drills that I was taught more than maybe 25 years, and in those 25 years I've not been to a parade ground for more than 2 or 3 times. Maybe when we were doing Armed Forces Remembrance Day parade and I had to command a guard. So apart from that, I've not been to a parade ground, but everything that they taught me, I still remember all those details.
So assuming we were on a parade ground now, and I'm standing with my rifle, and I have my rifle standing at ease, if they call me to attention, I come to attention, shoulder, arm, 1, 2, 3, 1. I can't forget. Present arms, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. I mean, these things come back to me like as if it was yesterday. And these were people who naturally did not go to school. Maybe they finished secondary school, but they understood the fundamental principles of taking knowledge and translating that knowledge into useful skill. And that's something that you must learn how to do. You know, interestingly, I also read mechanical engineering in NDA, and I was taught again by another set of profound instructors, I will also call them. But this time around, we did a lot of academic work, sitting down in class, reading books and all that. Those things that I learned, thermodynamics laws and all that, I cannot remember today. And I worked harder in my academic courses than in the military. And it's usually like that because you work harder in the things that are just academic. But for you to really get trained, for you to get education, for you to get the skills that you require, you get to practice them. And these are the things that these military instructors taught. So I want to share with you 3 simple tips on what they use to transfer knowledge into young men like me, and this knowledge became permanent. So the first thing I did is that they always focus on one thing at a time. So I can still remember, for example, when they were trying to teach us how to do slow march, when you march in slow form, now they will tell you, point out your toes, bend your toes at an angle, right, left. Of course, you start with your left first. But these things over years, they never left me. They start with one simple fact, one simple lesson, and they keep you on that simple lesson for a period of, let's say, 1 hour. You see, one of the challenges that people try when they try to get lessons imparted into them is that they try to do so many things. You know, when I started researching how to get leadership skills internalized in me, I found out that many times I tried to learn so many things at once until I came across this research that told me that you need to start with one thing. And it occurred to me that this was the reason why my drill instructors and those military instructors, they focus on one thing at a time, a simple lesson, and they will drill you over and over again until you internalize that simple lesson, and then they brought another one and layered it on it, and then gradually you get to grow. So if you want to get any skill internalized, one of the things you must do is to practice one thing at a time. The next tip I also want to share is making sure that you focus on quantity rather than quality. You see, many times when you try to learn a skill, there is the tendency for you to say you are focusing, you want to be perfect, but nobody ever gets perfect at the first try. So what do? Instead of trying to be perfect, what you should do is try as many times as possible. Don't seek perfection. Perfection will take care of itself as long as you keep practicing. And this was what the drill instructors did. They made us to practice over and over again. You tried it so many times until your body became part of the drill, until your body became part of the rifle, until your body became part of the sword. Whichever instrument or equipment you were going to carry on the parade ground, it became part of you, but you had to try it over and over again. So that's the second tip. And then finally, third tip is you must be motivated. I call it intrinsic motivation. So whatever it is you want to learn, you must figure out, let it be something that you are intrinsically motivated to do. You know, when I think back, the thing that motivated us, even if we didn't want to do it, was the stick that the drill instructors carried. And I can still remember their threatening voices. You they carry me play back. If I knock your head with this stick, you will remember your father in the village. I mean, those were funny moments. But these guys, they use this to get you to be motivated. Now, nobody's going to hit your head with a stick. So you have to find that intrinsic motivation. So those are the 3 tips. If you want to learn anything, make sure you focus on one thing at a time, and then you keep layering on it. Then secondly, focus on quantity rather than quality. Don't try to be perfect. I mean, think about those who learn languages. When you want to learn a different language, what do? You try to speak as much as possible. You don't get to bother about whether you are speaking the perfect tenses or not. No, just keep speaking, and then you get better. And then what's the last tip? Make sure you're intrinsically motivated. And that's the reason why I started this leadership club, because I believe that everybody has the leadership qualities in him or herself. So if you're interested in getting to become a better leader, now you can't be a better leader in your business, you can't be a better leader as a person, whatever it is, you get to find out the pillars of professional success. So whether you want to be a leader in business, you want to be a leader in any walk of life, I think the principles that make us better leaders in the military is something that can work in your professional life. So we created a framework. I created a framework that helps anyone understand the kind of skills that you need to integrate into your life so that you become a better leader in your profession. So for example, you need to understand the power of time, that there is nothing that you do that is going to be outside of time. For you to derive the best benefits, you must work within time. The law of compounding. So if you don't understand this law, you will be jumping from one skill or from one idea to another, and you miss out on the benefits of compounding. That's something you will learn when you get this framework. The second for another is that you must be, like I said, intrinsically motivated. I call it an obsession. You must have an obsession for what you want to learn, and you must learn how to leverage, how to build leverage. These are all things that you will learn and you see in this framework. And more than getting the framework, you will also get to see and participate in about 3 hours training where we discuss this with so many other people and you can ask all the questions. So if you're interested, please scan the QR code and you'll get into a WhatsApp group and be told what else to do. I hope to see you soon as you make your life better. Thank you very much.